Steve Bannon, the executive chairman of Breitbart News, and the former top advisor to President Donald Trump, finds himself increasingly without allies following the release of excerpts from an upcoming book in which Bannon paints negative perceptions of the president's family. The president responded on Wednesday, insisting in a vitriolic that Bannon had lost his mind. Candidates that had previously sought his support ran for the hills. His top financial backer, Rebecca Mercer, has cut ties. And now, even Alex Jones, the flamboyant conspiracy theorist and fellow MAGA traveler, is wailing away. "Let this be his political tombstone here," Jones said, mocking Bannon in an extended monologue on Thursday. "For all the failures. As soon as his little thing in Alabama failed, this happened. Let it be marked as cancer and we move on. And I hope Breitbart reconstitutes and continues its overall good mission. I don't like having to do this, but I need to put a fork in it when it's done." Jones went to say that Bannon looks like he has organ failure, and has been run over by a truck with dandruff all over him. It was, perhaps, a bit much. Though these are the reactions that have been prompted by the publication of portions of Michael Wolff's new book, Fire and Fury. In those portions, Trump is depicted as a buffoon, barely able to focus on the papers in front of him, let alone complex world affairs. Virtually everyone around Trump is quoted as calling him some variation of an idiot or moron. Even Trump's daughter, Ivanka, reportedly mocks his infamous hair comb-over. But it is Bannon who has been singled out most, if not exclusively, for pushback. The Breitbart chairman is quoted as calling Don Trump Jr. treasonous for having agreed to meet with Russian officials during the campaign. He also describes his former White House occupants as disordered or selfish-minded. It was all too much for Jones. "I feel personally betrayed, very disappointed," Jones said in a Thursday afternoon broadcast with frequent contributor Roger Stone, another Trump acolyte who has enjoyed an informal audience with the president since being cast out of his campaign in its early months. "Seeing the whole thing makes me sick." In the broadcast, entitled "Breaking," Bannon has joined the globalists in active treachery. Stone said Bannon looks like he's robbing hobos for his clothing. He seems to not be familiar with soap and water nor a good razor. He is not in any way a viable candidate. He's a political operative and an amateur one. He went on to say that if one were to ask people on the street in Austin, Texas, from which InfoWars is broadcast, if they knew who Bannon was, they would have no idea. "I think Steve Bannon's entire strategy is transparent," Stone continued. "Evidently he now supports the removal of our president," he said, suggesting that Bannon's remarks will be used to support a phony narrative about Trump being incapable of performing the necessary tasks of the presidency. Stone had actually turned down the notch a bit. In a separate broadcast on Wednesday, he had accused Bannon of going public and urinating on the person who appointed you to high public office. That, Stone added, "I was treasonous."